Hey, happy Friday, everybody. It is August 15th and time for this week's Friday Funnies. First of all, let me just say congratulations to you on having made it to the end of another work week. I think for this accomplishment, you deserve a gold medal. But unfortunately, the Olympics Committee does not recognize events like stress and pressure. So as your consolation prize, you get to take time out to watch the Friday Funnies. I suggest take a lot of time out and watch them 3-4 times. Speaking of the Olympics, however, swimmer Michael Phelps has been ordered to undergo a physical before his next race. Apparently, the French are claiming that he has gills. And women's volleyball, that's a fun sport to watch, isn't it? Except that the bathing suits that both sides wear look very similar. And they're constantly switching sides of the net. It makes it hard to follow who's who. In order to make this easier and to increase viewership, I think they ought to use the men's way of differentiating teams: shirts and skins. That said, here's the best stories I've found in this week's news. In Washington, D.C., scientists are very close to developing a cloak of invisibility. That's right, they found that by redirecting light in some super secret scientific way, they can make three-dimensional objects disappear. Ooh, I bet you John Edwards wishes he had one of these gizmos when he was caught coming out of that woman's hotel room in Hollywood. Now, Barack Obama has been talking a lot about change, but I don't know if this is what he meant. James Jones of Cincinnati, Ohio, paid for his new pickup truck in loose change. Well, at least he paid for half of it. He went into the dealership with $8,000 in coins and a check to cover the balance to pay for his new Chevy Silverado. And he has always paid for things in change because he doesn't trust folding money. Well, who does? But his kid said that, yep, Dad's always used change to pay for things, and as kids, we really enjoyed that because we could hear him jingling about a block away. So here's a man who's going through his change and enjoying it. In St. Paul, Minnesota, this is a story that makes you wonder if drugs were at all involved. In St. Paul, Minnesota, police were called to the Arlington Recreation Center to investigate a burglary. When they got there, they found that the snack machine at the recreation center had been broken into. The front glass had been smashed, and all of the Cheetos had been stolen. Now, the good thing for the police is they were very easy to find the burglars because they left a trail of snacks all the way from the machine to their house. So the police just had to find the trail of Cheetos, and when they got there, they found a 17, an 18, and a 19-year-old man just sitting around snacking, and they arrested them immediately with third-degree burglary and felony munchies. Here's a headline that deserves mentioning on something like the National Enquirer. Woman gives birth to lawn boy. Except actually Jessica Higgins gave birth to a girl, but she did do it on the front lawn. She was driving home with her 2-year-old son in the car when all of a sudden she went into labor 6 weeks early. So she grabbed her cell phone and called an ambulance, but by the time the ambulance got there, she had already popped out a brand new baby girl right on the lawn under the ficus tree. She and the baby are doing fine, but the kids who were running the lemonade stand on the lawn next door, they were pretty freaked out. And finally, some guys have all the luck. Ernest Kramer of Harrison, Michigan, went outside his house one night this week to unplug some decorative lights. Well, when he went out there, he found standing in his driveway a 19-year-old girl who was lost, she was drunk, and she was naked. What a deal. So he quickly gave her a t-shirt and he brought her into his house where his wife was standing there, and he said his wife didn't bat an eye. Apparently he does this quite often. But this has got to be the luckiest guy in the world. The only things I ever find in my driveway are newspapers and broken tree branches. Hey, that's all I have for you this week. There will be no Friday Funnies next week because once again I will be traversing this fair country of ours from coast to coast. But we will be back in 2 weeks with our special pre-Labor Day edition. Until then, have a great weekend.